Good afternoon. I'm Orrin, Senator from the great state of Utah and Chairman of the United States Senate Finance Committee, which oversees international trade policy. This summer, you saw firsthand Congress's commitment to advancing a robust trade agenda that will help move America forward. With passage of a Bipartisan Trade Promotion Authority, or TPA, we set high objectives for trade negotiations that the administration must meet for any trade deal to get congressional approval. TPA raised the bar for negotiating objectives in areas like digital commerce, market access, regulatory practices, and most notably intellectual property rights, all with the purpose of promoting job growth, increasing consumer access, and enhancing economic ties with our trading partners. Now, all eyes are on Hawaii. Representing 40% of the global economy, the 12 nations in the Trans-Pacific Partnership have the opportunity to establish an innovation bloc which will span continents and become the standard for all nations who seek to grow their economies through trade. Because TPP will set the standard for future trade agreements, it is vital to get this agreement done right. That's one reason why I've been calling for TPP to include strong intellectual property rights that meet the challenges of the 21st century global economy. After all, intellectual property is the backbone of the American economy, affecting large and small businesses across the nation. It is also a key to unlocking economic growth. I've seen this in my home state of Utah, where 500,000 jobs and 67% of our exports are connected to intellectual property. In the United States, we've set high standards to protect and preserve intellectual property in our domestic market. TPA calls for similar standards to be achieved in any agreement to which the United States is a party. And that's why I and many others in Congress expect U.S. law to serve as the baseline in the TPP trade talks when creating the IP chapter. We must ensure American innovators are able to monetize the fruits of their labor when they export them to other markets. These standards will drive economic growth, not only for the United States, but for all TPP parties. It's imperative this trade pact have the strongest possible terms for innovative industries. This means 12 years of regulatory data protection for biologics and strong copyright and trademark protections. The intellectual property provisions in TPP must also effectively address the theft of trade secrets and ensure effective implementation and enforcement of IP obligations. Difficult decisions will be made and negotiations will be intense. But on behalf of the majority here in the United States Senate and the Committee on Finance, we look forward to conclusion of a final agreement that we can get behind and actively support. We are hopeful that TPP will be an agreement that will spur knowledge, intensive jobs, establish an attractive investment climate across 3 continents, catalyze innovation, and facilitate access to the world's consumers. The United States Congress will be watching these negotiations closely. We have worked hard and are close to the finish line. It's time we get this done and get it done right.